my name is Steve Enstad, and I'm the CEO of PageDNA. I've been working for 28 years to get to this moment to meet you. What I'd like to do first is look in the rearview mirror just for a moment, and then we're going to look in the windshield. And the rearview mirror is smaller than the windshield for a reason. It's more important that we look where we go. However, let's start by just briefly talking about where PageDNA came from. PageDNA started as a pre-press service bureau. We actually started in the printing industry, like you. And in that process, we met many customers, including Wells Fargo Bank. Let's go back to 1996 and discuss what happened in a brief conversation that led to the creation of PageDNA. Because this conversation, in its kernel, is the reason that automation is needed in the printing industry. Whether you're an internal print shop, commercial printer, or a brand, you need automation around your print and marketing, ordering, and workflow. So just quickly, jumping back to 1996, I was a pixel pusher using Quark Express back at Metagraphics. In the middle of a meeting with one of our customers, again, Wells Fargo, the marketing manager held up his business card and said, out of the blue, "Can you believe that this $40 box of business cards costs us over $100 in labor to order?" We were dumbfounded. And he then described that they'd done a survey. They'd actually gone through the process and counted the number of steps just inside the bank to place an order for a business card. It was exhausting. The employee went to their manager. The manager went to purchasing. Purchasing gave them a PO number. Then they went to HR to check the title, and it went on and on. And that wasn't even inside the print shop. You might as well be wrapping $50 around each print job as it goes out the door because you're losing that much of your own internal staff's time. So we built a typesetting engine. We built an online ordering system that allowed Wells Fargo Bank to order business cards. But then they told us, you know what, we have another problem. Our orders need to go through a manager for approval. So we built an approval system. Then we went to the print shop and learned that these orders needed to be grouped and ganged together, and there was a lot of manual touches. So we built an automation system for imposition. But that was just the start. Since starting with business cards, PageDNA's tool has expanded to become a Swiss Army knife across multiple areas of print workflow. The theme is removing the touches improves the outcomes, and not just for you as a print provider, critically also for your customers or your staff who are ordering from. So let's look back again just for a moment about what it meant to be a printer in the 90s. For those of you who were around, you got the specs, you got the file, you brought it back, usually on a zip drive, and then you did everything you needed to do to get that job out the door on time, and then deliver it and collapse in a heap, and hopefully don't crawl into a bottle. Well, let's ask ourselves, it's 2025. How far have you come? Ask yourself this question. Could you be doing more with your current team and hardware? Bringing in more volume with higher margins and improving your customer experience? The answer is yes, with an affordable tool like PageDNA. Does this diagram resonate with you? Do you feel like your workflow sometimes feels like this? Well, you're not alone. Your customers might feel this way as well. Business is extremely fast-paced in 2025 and on, and it's not going to slow down. As we look at the orders going through the PageDNA system, we see consistently growth and the numbers going up and to the right. This reflects both PageDNA's growth as well as the growth of online ordering. In our vantage point, looking over the shoulders of hundreds of printers, launching thousands of projects online, we've learned one thing is true. It's no longer about big versus small. Now it's about fast versus slow. When you think about the trends in our industry, jobs have gotten smaller and more complicated. Yet there's still the same touch costs: quoting, pre-flighting files, billing, customer service, reordering, inventory. Those challenges are actually taking up a larger proportional chunk of your revenue. Per dollar of print delivered, the costs are going up because you have the same touches, but you have a smaller job in digital short-run production. Of course, your teams are using online ordering to do everything else in their lives. These things are glued next to their heads. They're sleeping next to them in bed. That's not going to change because online ordering has changed the world forever. Digital screens, like the one you're looking at, are how people do business today. Look at the numbers. These are trillions of dollars, and you can see it's accelerating. It's not slowing down. The trend is our friend, but only if we recognize it and take advantage of that trend. So when we look back at that story of Wells Fargo Bank, we see a pattern that there's always going to be a print cost. There's always the toner, the paper, the ink, but there's also the workflow costs, the so-called soft costs around the order. Customers make decisions based on their friction, how hard it is for them to give their jobs and money to you. And so let's fast forward to today and see how we've continued to innovate. In 2025, from what we see, the printers that are succeeding have a lot of empathy. They move into their customers' world and they're doing far more than just giving a quote, printing the job, getting the registration right, and delivering the job on time. I'm sorry to say, but that's a given now. That's assumed. It used to be an art, now it's pretty much a given that you can do that stuff. So when we get together, we're going to show you examples of how our technology has actually changed relationships between the print shop and their clientele by doing more than just handling typesetting and quoting and pre-flighting files, but solving major pain points. I'm going to give you a couple examples in a moment, but I'm just teasing you here because we want you to fill out the form below so we can get together and learn about your organization. And at minimum, you're going to learn something. Even if you have a solution or you're happy and you just want to learn a little bit, don't worry. Fill out the form. In a half hour or hour meeting, we'll be sure to educate you on something that you didn't know. But the customers that we see, the print shops that are growing, expanding, buying more hardware, becoming not just surviving, but thriving, they're making it easier for their customers to order, pay for, track, reorder their jobs, removing touches for them, the client, as well as for the print shop. Of course, that matters too. But really, the print shops that we work with that are focused on their customers are growing, expanding, and buying other print shops in the commercial print world. In the internal print shop world, they're just becoming stronger and more vibrant, increasing loyalty and margin, and doing more with your current team and hardware. We all have that feeling, how do I do more? We need to bring in automation. So when we get together, we're going to show you what we've done far beyond a business card. That was 1996. We still do that all day long, but we're going to talk about other hidden bottlenecks that may be affecting you more than you know. For example, quoting. MIT did a study and they looked at this process that customers go through to get a job into a shop. There's a lot of back and forth, quoting, pre-flighting, all this pre-press. It's unnecessary with automation like PageDNA. What they did is they did a study of quoting and they found objectively that the faster you respond to a quote, the faster and more likely you convert that into revenue. Conversely, the longer you wait, the more likely you're going to lose that customer. They're going to go somewhere else because time is money for them. So when we get together, we're going to show you our quoting system that actually takes the world of quoting and turns it kind of inside out to allow non-print buyers, non-sophisticated print customers rather, the ability to get a quote, upload a file, and have that file pre-flighted. Setting up guardrails to make sure that orders can be quoted, checked, and get you a file that's already ready to go without you or the customer having to sit there and answer every question about materials and finishing and all the other options that are available. Again, if you remove the touches, you improve the outcomes. Similarly, we're going to look at flat art and show how the PageDNA system actually checks the resolution, aspect ratio of uploaded files, making sure that garbage does not get into your production workflow, and helping customers educate themselves as to what it takes to get you a file that you can use. Whether they're in their pajamas at 2 in the morning or operating during regular business hours, they have a digital-based screen way to go on and order, upload, track, and pay for their jobs. Again, if you remove the touches, you improve the outcomes over and over. We've done this, and we've built a Swiss Army knife. Think of PageDNA as a Swiss Army knife with all these blades that you may need today, some you might need tomorrow. Variable data, inventory, apparel, kitting. When we get together, we're going to get into more nuanced examples of how our software specifically removes pain for customers and makes them even more loyal to you. There's so many aspects of our system. We're excited to get together with you, but we don't want to just show you all of our stuff. We actually want to get together with you and do an assessment to see what we can do to remove your touches and improve your outcomes. The printers that are growing are removing touches. They're actually winning that margin and keeping it. They're not racing to the bottom in terms of lowering their costs. They're actually making it easier for their customers, and they're making their customers happier, which brings them back again and again. So quickly just ask yourself, are your customers finding it easy to order from you? Are you doing the same thing over and over, expecting different outcomes? And is your profit margin and your volume increasing, or are those KPIs dropping? It's time to make a change. Please get together with us by filling out this form. We will actually meet with you and spend about 20 minutes simply asking questions and learning about your operation, what you're doing today, and where you want to go. We will then show you a solution that for under $6,000 a year starting price will actually help you remove touches and do more with your current team. We're going to show you how we remove touches both for commercial print shops, internal print shops, and brands, so that we can not only remove the touches and improve the outcomes, but really transform your future. Again, this has been Steve Enstad, co-founder, owner, CEO of PageDNA. I hope you fill this form out because we're going to be meeting very soon. Thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to meeting you.